Good afternoon. I want to do a really brief thought exercise with everybody right now. I want you to imagine that you have blue hair. You've had blue hair your entire life and it's never bothered you, until people start to tell you that you have red hair. You try to tell them that it's blue, but they don't believe you. So you go to get out a mirror to show them, and you discover that your hair is red. You're wrong, and they were right. This is very upsetting. But after a certain time period, you decide, no, blue hair is what you want, so it's what you're going to do. You're going to find a hairdresser that will change your hair from red to blue, and have the world see you as you see yourself. This is a very easy way to characterize the transgender narrative. It is about bodies and perceptions of those bodies. But it's also about doctors. We don't take into consideration the doctors that are involved in this long and lengthy process. There's going to be a therapist who hears the transgender person's story. There's going to be a doctor that prescribes hormones. There's also going to be a doctor that performs several surgeries. There's a lot of doctors, and it's slightly overwhelming. And like the hairdresser in my analogy, that doctor has a lot of power. They can say yes and give you what you want, or they can say no and leave the transgender person feeling trapped. My research looks at transgender narratives. What I mean by that are stories that are written by and stories that are about transgender people. That difference is subtle, but that difference matters because authorship of those stories matters. Because doctors do have such a large role in this process, they can sometimes take it over entirely. My background slide is for the film Trans America. This is a very popular depiction of a trans woman going across the United States. But what we don't consider is the fact that this entire plot premise was an ultimatum given by a doctor. Bree, the transgender woman, must find her estranged son, or her therapist will not write her a letter. She goes on this journey not because she wants to, but because she has to. Journeys come up a lot in these transgender narratives, but my research demonstrates and my research shows that these journeys are not often done organically. They are often dictated and determined by the very doctors that deems them necessary in the first place. My research aims to isolate the doctors in these stories, and by doing so, elevate the transgender stories and their voices underneath. Thank you.